came through at that. All right. We're live. Good. Jay, we're doing staff picks today. We have a little blog up on, it's got like 5 staff picks on there or something. It's not huge, but we're going to talk about that along with a few other favorites of our own. I'm TQ, you're JQ. It's tea time at the Apothecary. Let's do this.
All right.
So let's start with, well, first of all, I do want to say a few things. I want to start with number one. We're drinking catnip, and we're doing it because it is Lisa who runs our tea department. It's her pick of the month for staff picks, right? And we've had this tea before.
It's
And
excellent.
it's excellent. And it hasn't kicked in yet, but as I recall, it is very nice for relaxing and sort of chilling out. For humans, not for cats. For cats, it's like crack, right?
Yeah, it's like quite the opposite for cats, I think.
Yeah. So again, this will be a test if I'm a cat or not, because I need to chill out. And what I was going to say is, I was so happy that we're drinking this tea today. Happy that Lisa picked it as her pick of the month, catnip tea, catnip herb, a drink as a tea. That because here's something I realized about myself today.
Wow. All right.
I am not good
Hi,
at
John.
anything.
Hi, Cheesy.
Hey, what's up? What's up, DJ Sanchez? Adrian, how you doing? John, nice to see you, man. Good noon time to you. But here's what I'm not good at. Anything that involves patience and anything that involves technical problems not working out the way that I expect them to and want them to right now.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that just makes you human, dude. I don't think that's like, that feels a little like, that's like vague astrology. Like, you are a really good person, but sometimes you have difficulty. You're like,
No, no,
they know me.
yeah. I'm bringing it up partly because, I mean, to make you laugh, and because, of course, that's true about everyone. But I will say, this is not to claim some special status. I think I am especially bad with summoning patience around anything having to do with technology not working. Like, it irritates me, even if it's something like I'll need to fix by next week. If I decide I'm going to fix it today and then I have to wait for like a technical person to get back to me and they've assured me it'll happen tomorrow, I will have a bad night being really mad at everybody and anybody who comes across my path until I get that answer.
Wow. All right.
That's not a good way to feel.
No, I recommend you try and let that go. Because
Yeah.
you don't really have control, man.
Aha. Yes, that's right. I don't have control. This is my attempt to sort of talk about it, make a little joke about it, and to tell you that I'm hoping that the process of talking to you right now and drinking catnip tea helps me let it go, because I'm sort of I'm I'm filled with discontent at the moment.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry to hear
Yeah.
that, pal.
But what you gonna do? So John's pro tip was avoid spicy foods after brushing with full strength spearmint Uncle Harry's toothpaste. We're speaking of which, we're going to talk about that. So we're talking about staff picks. It's a good tip, John, and I think
Oh,
I'm going to come back to it in a second.
since we're drinking catnip, I have a good segue.
Yeah, go ahead.
We were out at the lake home at G's new house, and
Yeah,
this was something that we needed that we didn't have with us, and so I've got it here at the house, and it just lives on the porch. Apparently, if people want to just sit on my front porch, they're welcome to
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But
Lavender catnip insect repellent from Four Elements, based here right north of us in Wisconsin, a few hours.
okay, first of all,
Um,
Four Elements has incredible teas, incredible herbs, incredible formulations. they're like, they're just lovely. I find their products great. And props to them for like not making the same insect repellent 18 other people have with the same citronella and the same citrus oils. That even sage, these things that people are starting to use. This one, the sage they were the first one I saw with sage in it.
Mm.
So they have basil and sage, but also lavender and catnip. And it is, if you want to put on bug spray, but you don't want to smell like you just put on bug spray, this is a very lovely, floral, basil-y,
Yeah.
amazing scent that you can feel good about having on you, and also it will keep the bugs away. So that's my midsummer pick.
Cool. I'm gonna
Something glass. It's
yeah,
awesome.
I think it's a good pick. I'm gonna pick up. So I'm gonna try and see if we can keep going on segues of some sort, contrived or not. Yeah. So since you're picking a spray, here's what I'm adding into the mix. That's not on the blog, but it's Bird
Texturizing super spray. Is that a
Texturizing
hair?
Surf Spray. So I'm wearing a hat right now. I did wash my hair. It actually is feeling soft and smelling good. It's maybe not looking so good. But when I'm not wearing a hat lately, I am not going with generally a super combed style. So I've been just sort of pushing it back. And then my hair, when I don't put a hat on in the morning, gets fairly curly in this humidity. And I want it to do that because I don't want it hanging down in my face. And I want it to feel like it has some body and some texture and a little bit messy and dirty, but I want that right after I get out of the shower.
Yeah,
And I don't want it actually dirty, right?
Right.
I really like
You want second day hair every day.
Yeah. This is sea salt, coconut water, sea buckthorn, quinoa protein. It's basically like that feeling of like you've been in the ocean and then you like rinsed off in the shower and then you like hanging out at the bar having a cerveza and then
spray.
like later you realize that your hair just looks like you've been on a Caribbean vacation and you're so excited about it. That's what this does, except first thing in the morning.
All right, put it in. Put it in.
And like I let it dry and it's like you know in an hour or
Look,
so.
for like blind application, that looks pretty good, dude.
Yeah. So it kind of curls up. It stays like it doesn't have this wet look. It doesn't stay wet looking, but it sort
No,
of
but
just
it
kind of
tightens.
makes it
Yeah.
kind of makes it feel like some structure to
It
it.
tightens and then it also doesn't get frizzy. That's the beauty, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So
Yeah, I love a surf spray. I think, I rarely have had my hair long enough to have one. I finally do. So maybe I need to try that one. Being that my kids love birds and I use the next product on my kids.
the natural segue. Keep
Like
going.
that, very natural. So I did that.
Yeah, I like it.
Supernatural. Supernatural. Um, this is one of my favorite products we carry. It's not fancy. It's not expensive.
I think
It is.
Greta picked this on the blog, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the
I am.
everyone 3-in-1 kid soap.
Yeah, I'm just like a guy who likes like I want a product that I can use for like five things always. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is good, pretty clean shampoo for my kids. Shampoo, body wash, and bubble bath. So I
Yeah.
just put it all over them, their heads, and then I take a little and dump it in the bath. And all you have to do is just
Agitate.
What?
Agitate the water, right?
Agitate it. Yeah, I said excite. Excite it with your fingers a little, and it's awesome.
That's awesome.
And then, when we run out of hand soap in that bathroom, I don't hesitate to also just pour that into the reusable hand soap too. So, for me, that's a 4-in-1. I feel
Yeah.
like win, 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 you know?
Yeah. I mean, I've got to say, as a guy who sells hand soap, don't do that. You want really good hand soap from us. But if it was a pinch, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I'm just trying to
I'm
like buy.
teasing, but I love.
I'm trying to buy the biggest vessel possible, and then get as many uses out of it as possible. So I'm not buying 6 pieces of plastic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. And plus, everyone is made by our friends at EO. We really we dig them. We're like 2 decades in and more of being friends with that company and
I think
partners and
Dad was maybe their
sellers.
first, if not one of their first few customers ever. So
Yep. They created the idea of essential oil. EO it just means essential oil. Before essential oils were all the rage, and every young person under 25 was coming in with their own needs of essential oils for recipes, which is awesome, by the way. But before that was a thing, there was like one line, and they were it back in like the 90s.
and
Uh,
there's still like the one line for like cleaner soap that is fragranced with essential oils. You know, it's coconut, it's sulfates always, but it's coconut derived. They add aloe in all their soap, you know, all their
yeah,
stuff, and they only use essential oils. And then they have like their higher end line with fancier essential oils, and then their basic everyone line for like, you know, the cheaper quality, the less expensive
yeah, the value
lavender,
line.
and the less expensive orange goes in that, right? And then they're like fancier hand soaps have neroli and you know other stuff in it,
Yeah,
vanilla.
yeah. Um, Speaking of being filled with oils, I'm
It's terrible.
like looking for.
This is like this is like exactly
Look,
what
we've
not.
got to maintain the segue,
Okay.
and that's a natural segue to our next staff pick, which is Christine. Um, yeah, bug spray. That bug spray, Susanna. The bug spray that doesn't smell like bug spray. I won't say it doesn't smell like something a bit unusual, but it's very pleasant in my mind. I really like it.
Yeah, it smells very much like look, you need something with those terpenes to keep the bugs away, right? So it's got to have that like kind of pungency and punch, but this one smells like fresh herbs,
Yeah.
you know?
It's like you brought lavender and sage and some other herbs in from your garden,
So basily
and then
actually.
took a chef's knife and like minced them
Yeah, and
essentially.
like you and that scent that's coming off the kitchen, you're like, "Oh yeah, that's it." You know, off the cutting
Yeah,
board. Yeah.
yeah, that's exactly what it is. So yeah, speaking of fresh herb scents, uh, so Tannenblut. Tannenblut is
Tannenblut.
Tannenblut is a
Pine
famous
blood.
cough syrup. It's yeah, pine blood, the blood of the pine tree,
The
but
sap.
it basically means the sap, and it's a famous cough syrup that has plantain. It has a bunch of different great essential oils and herbal extracts in there, and it's one of our best-selling products for cold, cough, etc.
Oh, Tannenblut. Oh,
Yeah,
Tannenblut. So
I
good.
don't normally eat a lot of sugar.
A cough drop.
I don't normally eat sugar, but I'm going to do it today because Christine picked this as her staff pick, and it is a cough drop that is filled with the Tannenblut syrup.
This syrup is so good that whenever I get a cold or a cough, I just get a whole new bottle because I just swig it all day long because I'm just like,
Yeah,
this is delicious.
you're like a Tannenblut lush.
I am. I am. I love it so much. It tastes so good. I give it to JJ now too, and he's like, "That one's good."
Yeah, yeah,
I know.
yeah,
I know.
yeah,
He's like, "It tastes like Christmas."
yeah. It really does. This is very pleasant, I have to say.
Yeah.
I'm gonna crack it open to get to the juice.
You're gonna go. You're gonna go full freshen up on it. Remember
Mhm.
freshen up gum,
Yeah.
where you like,
Oh wow. Mm, that's some next level.
you know,
Like the thing about this that's really good is that the hard candy sort of shell of the cough drop already is quite strong.
yeah,
But then the juice was like an extra pop of pine deep into my throat. It's really nice.
Awesome. I'm so glad we have it in cough drops now.
I know.
Now I don't have to be swigging the bottle all day long.
Yeah. You'll look less menacing when you're standing out at your curb.
With
You
a
won't-
paper bag, yeah.
Yeah.
It's cough syrup, I swear.
Yeah. All right. Segue time. Go, Jay.
Oh, speaking of super powerful, fresh scents, John, Uncle Harry's toothpaste.
Yeah. Which one is that?
Well, speaking of super powerful, the children's and or newly renamed mild mint toothpaste is one of the most powerful toothpastes you'll ever try. And then if you want to burn your mouth and scream in pain, then get
For you, I disagree. I just want to make it clear.
then get the regular one where you can then call a cab for your lips and send them to the emergency room while you just
if you're sensitive mouthed, I'm gonna call it, because if you're just being brothers, there's a lot more derogatory terms that I would use to make fun of you right now, but I don't know what terms, but I'm just saying, like, I would generally, it's my duty as an oldest brother to just rip on you as the youngest brother for being so wimpy about your essential.
Clearly, everyone who used Harry's agreed with me so that they'd stopped calling it children's and named it mild mint.
That's what I was going to say, is that you're not alone in this. But that said, I am a huge fan of the peppermint, which is the strongest one. To me, all other toothpastes are inadequate. Really. That's how I feel.
I mean,
and I look at it as,
I like, ever since I was maybe 20 and I decided 18 and at 20 and I started using Weleda salt toothpaste. And I was just like, because I still drank orange juice at that time. And I was like, I don't want super minty. I hate the way my orange juice tastes after I brush my teeth. And then I got addicted to a non-minty, saltier toothpaste. And then and then I had a little heyday with Marvis where I got addicted to the ice cold again. But I'm kind of back on like Parodontax, salt toothpaste, the mild mint, these ones that are like a little more salty than minty. I like the minty can leave like a minty film in my mouth, and the salt feels like squeaky clean, and I love it.
yeah, and I think that the logic, I'm not an expert on it.
John says it's a fun challenge that I won't do again.
Yeah. But I think that the idea of putting salt in your toothpaste is that essentially a lot of the bacteria in your mouth that cause cavities and dental decay and gum issues are due to having you want that salt because it creates a pH basic counterbalance to the acidity where that bacteria thrives.
Yeah, like a neti pot, but for your teeth, right?
Yeah.
So, but it also is just like I would put people onto the Weleda salt toothpaste and they would be like, this is weird when you first try it. It's salty. Why is it salty? And then afterwards you're like, no, that's what clean feels like.
Yeah.
These
Well,
were
you're talking about compared to Crest.
these were Crest and Colgate users, and then them realizing that like this phony film and mint film was not like the mint doesn't mean clean, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I think that you're also sort of in there mixing up in your memory the idea of it was minty but sweet. And it's actually the thing that I think to me creates the film is not the mint. Like, yeah, mint doesn't mean clean, but I enjoy the feeling of the heavy mint.
No, it can coexist, but
yeah.
It doesn't necessarily equal clean, right?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I think that a lot of those toothpastes, they're essentially filled with a bunch of sweeteners.
Yeah.
Glycerin and or other sweeteners that are like much worse ones that are essentially things that you wouldn't drink and you don't want in your mouth. So why fill your mouth with a bunch of artificial sweeteners? I don't understand that. Most adults still do it. but I
That
think
said,
once
if
you,
you that said, if you like that sweeter, then get one with xylitol at least, you know?
yeah, but I'm saying like I also think maybe consider becoming an adult. I don't know. I told you I'm a little ornery today, so
I
I'm just gonna
noticed.
call it out.
Um, I would recommend that if people want to try one, then something new, then do a tooth powder. Everyone used to use tooth powder before. And again, I think we're getting back to like basics in a lot of ways. Like people want solid bar shampoo. You want to take the water back out of your stuff because now that we're shipping everything and ordering everything, try something without water in it. Add the water.
Well,
You have a sink. You know what I mean?
yeah, and the Uncle Harry's, I know that they're working on the lid. They went to a metal lid, but it's hard when you have like clay and other ingredients, so they move back to a plastic lid. But at least it comes in a jar,
Yeah,
right? It's a
glass jar.
glass jar. I love that.
I love those
Um,
little glass jars. They're
yeah,
great.
yeah. And
What is
if you're a painter, they also make great like little mixing jars for your paint.
yeah,
Rachel
yeah.
loves. She's like, don't
Rachel
throw away the
uses
jars.
all of
Don't
them.
throw
Yeah,
away
I
the
know.
jars.
She's like, I can't get enough of these. I'm
Yeah,
like, good because your family
exactly.
uses 3 a month. You know?
Yeah.
Um, Sanchez says she likes the peppermint, but recently made the switch from Uncle Harry's to David's. Um, I don't know David's. Do you know David's?
I know the name. I don't know well. I
Okay.
know Uncle Harry personally, and I won't mention it to him because I think he'll be hurt. But whatever. David's probably happy.
Yeah, no, Sanchez is a extreme low no waste user. She, if you don't mind me sharing, Sanchez, sorry, I'm going to anyway. But she is has always asks me for what's the lowest waste version of what you have. And so that may be why she's made the switch. But she also is one of these people that are incredible and keeps a container and puts all their single use plastic in it and they get one container a year. And she is like the last one I did, like I had for over a year, which is pretty awesome.
Wow,
Isn't that amazing?
that's really amazing.
I
That's
know.
great.
So it's kind of like a challenge for yourself, not to get discouraged, but to see how much you actually waste, is to get a container and then set sort of a time limit for yourself to be able to fill up that much. It's pretty cool.
Excuse me. I think
She's been using shampoo bars for years and years, which is really cool.
Sanchez, if you're still watching, I want to know: are you buying salad greens from like a big bin and just putting it in a reusable bag and then washing them yourself? Because I feel like that's a major one that like we kind of struggle with, is that we end up wanting the triple wash stuff that you can just go with because it's easy, and that's probably a lot of my single-use plastic
Your
are these,
clamshells.
are these clamshell or these big plastic
Yeah.
greens containers. So shout it out if you have an answer to that. I'm curious. Uh, okay, on the idea,
Speaking of things that have green on the package,
yeah, that's right. This chlorine. Um, speaking of things that I wish were packaged not in a box and then a plastic bottle,
yeah,
but happen to be really great. And it's probably, it's not the cleanest line either. It's like,
they used to be in glass, you know.
yeah, but it's also, it used to be I mean, it's got SLS in there, I believe, but it happens to be, Clone just happens to have some of the best shampoos
Formulation.
out there from a sort of effectiveness standpoint. And Rob on our team picked this one, which is the fortifying with quinine, shampoo with quinine and vitamin B. It's especially for thinning hair that needs volume, lifeless hair. That is not my issue, as you might be able to tell, but I've used a bunch of their other shampoos before, and I really do like them. And my wife has used the color treated shampoos. She really likes them. I would say like this is one of our, back when companies could visit you in your store and do trainings in person in the old days.
Yeah, back in early 2020.
Yeah, yeah, in the early 2020s. There was when Cloran would come through, that was always one of our staff's favorite trainings
Hmm.
because they just felt like they were going to get excited about it. They're going to get to try a bunch of new things and their hair was going to look amazing. Right? So I throw this out. This is Rob's pick. If you are in need of a new shampoo and kind of feel like they have something for almost every single type of hair issue you have, might
Yeah,
be worth considering.
they have just very unique blends of botanicals that don't
Yeah.
exist in any other shampoos. You can like take one of theirs and Google it, and you'll be like, they're the only hit because they're the only ones who thought of that formulation.
Yeah. And, I think that like, let's just, it's always good to get stereotypical about ethnic
Moving
groups,
on.
but,
Moving on.
no, all I was going to say is the French seem to excel in their products in like beautiful tiny variations of things like in fragrance, right? It's like they love, it's like 7 different versions of oud in a fragrance and 5 different versions of amber. And I feel like that carries over into their skincare often and their shampoo. It's just like they don't tire of finding another gap between two products. And other places may do that too, but given that we sell a lot of products from France, I would say that stands out for French products as opposed to many other countries in that they just love this variety and assortment.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's from the deep vintner heritage, you know? I mean, like that is like that's like a part, that's a part of winemaking is like put a little bit of this one in and a little bit of this one
Yeah,
in, you
I
know?
just think there's a love of subtlety and detail and
Yeah,
and
and
kind of
like tinkering.
nuance.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that is seems like
That's a
cultural.
positive stereotype.
No,
Stereotype accepted. Stereotype accepted.
and I would say it's cultural, really, right? It's like it's part of the French culture. I really like it. So thanks, Sanchez. Angelic Organics, cool, noted. I will check it out. All right. So Jay, what does that naturally lead to for you?
I forgot to grab this,
Tell me.
but but I wanted to, maybe I'll just pull it up on my screen and share it. One second. Um, okay. Um,
Should I go with another one in the meantime?
no, I got it.
Okay.
Okay. Like I was saying, my favorite products are used for multiple things.
Yeah.
And and lavender, can come from a lot of places. English lavender, there's French lavender. That's my segue. You
Is this
like
your
that?
segue?
That was my
The
segue.
French segue?
Yeah, but also
What product?
American lavender.
What product?
Here, I'm gonna share it right now because I forgot to grab it. But here we go. Can you see that?
The stink stick.
Yes.
I mean, I know what it's used for, but I'm curious to
So
hear.
the Duggan sisters made this deodorant that we've all used in our family, and if your body reacts well to baking soda in a deodorant, it's a fantastic deodorant that's very low waste because it's a powder, and you essentially just take a little bit of powder and tap it under your.
And it comes in a reusable metal container with a sifter top. So you
Yeah,
literally
essentially
just,
like a powdered sugar kind of container from like a fancy restaurant, right? And and you just pat it under, and then they were like, okay, if you're extra stinky, we made this thing called a stink stick. This thing, see it?
yeah, which is a roller ball in
Which is
glass.
a roller ball with tea tree and lavender, and you just put it on your finger and do a wipe and a wipe. So it's a deodorant booster, essentially, right? So we've got a deodorant booster. That's one thing it's useful for. But it's also amazing for zits, and it's already in a roller ball, and it's incredible for bug bites.
I
It's
was
like
just gonna say for bug bites.
it's the best. And like it's just one of those things like why wouldn't you keep this thing in your DOP kit at all times? You use it for zits, bites, deodorant boosting. and headaches.
Can I say I'm open to the zit and the bug bite. I'm the opposite. I'm not extremely sensitive to baking soda. My only statement about that is I am extremely sensitive to tea tree.
Yeah.
So I actually can't put tea tree, like a one-time use on one spot is okay, but repeated use of a day or two, like I start to get almost like looks like a burn there and bad irritation. So
As your brother, it's my duty to make fun of you now and be like, you're like,
no, that's only the older, that only flows downhill, but brother, doesn't go uphill. Doesn't
okay,
work that way.
fine, fine. You're a wimp,
Yeah.
Mom.
um,
He said I
speaking,
had weak lips.
yeah. Hey, can you take off your hat again for a second?
No, you're gonna
This
just
isn't
make
to
fun
make
of my
fun of you.
hair.
It's just actually I want to tell. I meant to say this earlier when we were talking about volumizing.
You're gonna make fun of my hair now.
No, I'm definitely not. So you have a pretty sharp cut between the sides and the. It's like a line.
Well, I'm coming off a mohawk, a
Yeah, yeah.
pandemic
But what
mohawk.
I was going to say is that the way your hair is sort of becoming gray with the dark hair, I really like it. I have to say, first of all, it's a
Nice.
compliment. But
Wow.
also,
Who is this guy today?
I saw a picture of Jon Stewart recently, and you look a lot like you're getting more and more like Jon Stewart as time goes on. And I think that's a good thing. If you now just work on your sense of humor, and it'll be good. I'm just gonna, sorry. Anyway, it did have a Jon Stewart reminder. Like, I think I'm a big fan of his, and I'm a big fan of yours. So it was just kind of something interesting.
Nice
Speaking of
recovery.
lines in
Nice
hair,
recovery.
speaking of lines in hair, my next pick, that was my segue, actually. That's why,
Lines in hair.
yeah. Um, I am this is the Q Brothers razor made by Mueller in Germany. But I just want to say, I have a beard, but you know, I'm a, is it hirsute? I'm a fairly hairy guy, and I like to look at least somewhat clean while I'm sort
Hairsuit?
of, yeah, whatever it is. Not a hirsute, but there's a,
You have a hairsuit. That's what you're saying.
that pretty much. That's kind of what it's saying. But anyway, my point is, when you want the seams of your hirsute to look good, you got to use a razor. And uh, I'm such a big fan of the double-edged razor. And I picked Astra blades today. I would say I go personally between Astras and Permasharps,
I'm a
but
strictly Astra guy.
I really like Permasharp actually, but we're back ordered on them right now. We're having a hard time. Supply chain is squeezed. We're having a hard time finding them. So I'll go with Astras. I'm happy with those as well. But Astra and a double-edged razor, in literally 30 seconds, I can get this whole thing looking clean and trimmed, and it just looks a lot different than if I let everything grow and look like a caveman.
Excuse me.
So
Awesome.
that,
Yeah. I think the Astras are by far you get like the best cut and the most forgiveness from the blade. So it's great for people who are just starting out, and it's also excellent for experts because it allows you to go really fast, even around the edges.
yeah, I agree. It's a to me it's a must-have, and I'm just such a big fan. Again, going with the minimal waste thing. We sell, this one is fine for that, but I would say for women, shaving your legs, it is so much better to throw away one little tiny piece of metal that comes inside paper, that comes inside the cutest, tiniest little recyclable cardboard box. It's the most minimal waste. If you're using a razor that man or woman that comes inside a plastic cartridge holder, and it's plastic and metal and whatever, just ditch it. So for women
Not
or
to
for
mention, they
guys
made
shaving
those
their head,
they made those disposable ones so cheap that at Costco people buy a bag of 100 disposable little 2-track razors for like $10.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
So
such a,
much waste.
and like my feeling is, to kind of like talk the other side of it for a second, in the way things go, there are more important things to save the world, to save the earth than single-use plastics. But like you still got to do it. Just like there's no reason to not do it where it's easy. And shaving is one of them where like just ditch it. So I will say we'll link it up, but there is the Parker. Maybe I can share my screen if you let me. But for women who want to shave with a double-edged razor, or men who like to shave their head where you can't see what you're doing, it's a little more nerve-wracking with a double-edged razor. Um,
Dad doesn't, right?
yeah, he does. But what I was going to say is that I am a big fan of, where is it? I believe, no,
Hey, Sanchez says during the farm's off season, I just buy heads of lettuce and put them in a reused meshed onion bag. When I get home, I wash them and then throw them in a container, and we're good to go.
yeah, no, that we definitely do that, but I got to be honest, we got to be better about doing it more often. Um, anyway, there is a Parker one. I will find it and link it up afterwards. For some reason, I'm not
Are you talking
finding
about the butterfly ones?
the Parker butterfly. The
There's
Parker
several.
butterflies here. It's Jay. I'm going to send this to you.
I let you screen share. You can do it.
Oh, okay. Um,
Yeah, the butterfly is an easier way that you don't have to be unscrewing, and you can keep your hands away from the blade as you
am I
read.
sharing? Are you seeing the butterfly?
No. Did you press share screen and
Oh,
then choose desktop? There you go.
is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of them. But what I would say is that they're very mild on the aggressiveness factor. So it's unlikely that you're gonna, when you're shaving your legs, behind your legs, wherever, or in the back of your head, it's unlikely that you're gonna catch an edge and give yourself a little tweak.
Yeah. Greta, which one do you use? Because I kind of like bullied her into switching, like,
Nice.
years back, and she had like kind of a bad experience the first time she was trying feather blades, and then like
Oh
gave
yeah.
herself like a razor burn, and she was gonna give it up, and I kind of was like, there's a bunch of variables here, let's try another blade. And then it took some time, and there was a learning curve, and we both use the Astros now. And she has, I think, like the light blue, is it Edwin Jagger or
Am I
something?
doing this all on screen? I am.
Yeah, you are.
Okay. I'm gonna stop sharing.
Yeah.
Uh,
So the 82R is a good heavyweight one. They make lighter ones. That gunmetal one from Parker is a lovely butterfly as well. Yeah, Greta has that like light blue, sort of powdery blue Jagger, I think it is.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
Edwin
believe
Jagger.
so. Jagger or Mercur, but Jagger, I think.
I think it's a Jagger one. Anyway, um, she got the moves like Jagger, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
No, and so she's been using that on her pits and her legs for years now. And we both just buy a pack of razors. It lasts us both couple months, and then we're
Yeah.
good to go.
Yeah. It's such a nice way to avoid all that
You
plastic.
know, and lately I've been trying to like I do these like, I'm always trying to save time with 3 kids. You always have to like save time. So part of it is like get in the shower with the kids with this and just like rub everyone and then let them play in the water while I can take my time and do my routine and stuff. And they're just like throwing cups of water at each other. And I'm like in blissed out, and I have no idea. I can't even hear them anymore. But
Dad.
then then I take like the little one out and I leave the other ones in, and I make them clean the shower. So I give them 2 squeegees and they clean the shower. And they spend like 15 extra minutes in there, and during that time I get to shave, right? But I still got to be fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'll use my like wee Scott with just like a hand shave, like a hand foam. And
Yeah.
and um and And so, but lately I've been like trying to go even faster. So I've been just using my my double edge with an Astra blade and Jack Black beard lube. And man, that stuff is an awesome shave.
Yeah.
Like, like it is the best, hands down, the best shave without using a brush. And it doesn't, there's no foam, there's no cream. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's the
It
texture
is
of like
awesome.
hair.
Can I tell you my time-saving trick like that?
Yeah.
And this will get me crucified by the wet shave community. But lately, if I'm like, all I need to do is just kind of clean up top and bottom, make a little line, I just use my molten brown hand soap, grab some, lather it up, and just take the Astra or the Permasharp are so easy. I just take it and do a quick pass around the edges, and I'm like, shoot, done, ready to go. Throw on my hat, out the door, and literally I can do it in 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Everything perfect. You
Yeah,
know?
I mean, like that's everyone's resorted. I don't think there's a guy out there who
No,
has
I know. I'm just saying, like,
done that in a airport or a hotel.
but as a guy who sells the products and has like 47 awesome shave creams right below my sink,
Yeah, but
I
like
think,
the fanciest bartenders I know just want Beam on the rocks. You know what I mean? Like that, there's something to that. Is like those guys are like, I know how much work goes into it. Just give me a Beam on the
yeah.
rock. Like,
Yeah, but it's like, I could at least use the beard lube, like you said, but I'm using my,
yeah, but you should just keep one beard lube in the thing, and it like the little cooling sensation keeps. I'm not getting any razor burn, and
yeah,
I'm not using a brush, and so I've been using it like the last 3 or 4 times, and I'm just like I love that stuff. That stuff's amazing, and it's great to be able to have something to travel with. That's like comes. They make a little like once when we get to travel again at some point in some year in the future, there's like they make like a little 1 point something ounce for little Jack Black, right?
yeah. Can I, I'm going to share a screen again. Yeah, they do. They make a travel size that's perfect for like just when you need to shave, but I want to pick, you see that?
Yeah,
I really like this stuff. First of all, it's named Anthony, which is good.
yeah.
Um, but this ingrown hair treatment, honestly, it'll probably last me like 3 to 4 years with the amount that I need. But I take a little drop at the end. It's kind of like a blue gel, but it's very slick, and I just rub that on my neck, and like anywhere else I've done like
What's in it? Highlight the front again. Highlight the picture.
glycolic and salicylic and phytic acids. It just and willow herbs, so you got that,
That's good. Yeah.
and then the lavender to just soothe and calm. It's
Nice.
I'm a big fan of it. So I would have if I had thought it more about it. This is my add-on to our staff pick today, and that segue was completely honest and natural. The first one of the day. Yeah,
Speaking of Anthony, see you later, dude.
that's it. See you later. Yeah,
No. Hey. Well, is that it? Are we good?
that's it. That's what I got.
All right. Stop sharing your screen.
All right, relax.
All right. So, I would like. Did you see my new webcam? You can see my gear now because it has a slight fisheye to it,
It's very nice.
and I'm a little crispier.
You are. It is a better quality video.
Yeah, for sure. Um, and I'm working on some new stuff, music and video. That's very exciting, and I got a new toy. This is called a
It
gimbal.
looks like you're holding a big stick.
Yeah, it is. It's a big stick. I speak softly, but I carry a big gimbal.
What does it do?
Essentially, like you lock your phone into it, and it lets you get like super smooth cinema quality shots with your phone.
How do you determine which way it's facing?
There's a button, vertical or horizontal.
But I'm saying like essentially like you're allowed to move and it stays on the subject.
Yeah, there's subject follow. Then there's like,
And that's motorized.
yeah, check this out.
So you can lock in a subject and it will do the work of staying on that subject. Dude, that's cool.
And then hold on, wait, I'm gonna show you this now, real quick. So when you are like that.
Oh,
Then you can do, check this out. I'm geeking out about my gear for everybody, but it doesn't matter. Look, there
Catnip
is
must be working because I wanted to have this be a short
this
one because
is
I've
you
got
can
tons of
make
stuff to
this
do.
you can make this a rack focus, so I can focus change like cinema quality where I'm looking at the background and then you come into focus. I can do zoom with this dial with the switch of a button, and then if I turn, it slowly follows, right? But if I go up and down, it doesn't. See?
Yeah, it stays on.
Yeah, but then if I change it to lock mode, then when I turn left and right, it also doesn't.
Gotcha.
And up and down, it doesn't. Then if I wanna, if I want it to follow my phone more quickly, um, you, you can press a trigger on the back while you're changing directions.
This is
And then
veering
check
into
this out.
territory that's too technical for me
And then
to
look at
enjoy,
this.
but
If I'm
it's
up
cool.
here, right, and I want to tilt down, but it's still facing forward, right?
Yeah.
So if I press the bottom trigger, watch this, then it does angle down. And then it stays down. So say I'm looking at a skyscraper and I want to
You can't see that you're above the
okay,
thing,
I'm
but
looking
it's
up at
above.
it. So I'm looking up at a skyscraper, right?
Yeah.
And then I let go of that trigger and look, my thing stays looking at
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And then just to go back to normal, I just press that twice and there you go.
Wow.
So cool.
That's pretty cool. It's good to know your skyscraper shots are going to be even better.
Well, imagine like, if you're doing a rap video and you want to shoot from the feet like Beastie Boys style, right? Then I can go like this and
Yeah.
look
I got it. I got it. I got it.
look here and then hold it like this and it still stays up.
So
you know?
what you want?
Exactly.
That's what I'm talking
Now I
about.
just need the fisheye and the super slow-mo,
Yeah.
which it has too. So I'm psyched.
All right. On that note, I'm gonna let you
John
nerd
says
out
the
by
dinosaur song was stuck in his head all weekend. Good job. Thank you. And there's a lot more videos coming out. We have new videos every week from Q Brothers. And they're about to get a lot better with my new gear. So I'm excited.
Good deal. All right,
All right.
brother. I'm gonna send you on your way to nerd out with your equipment. Take it easy, brother.
See you, man. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you for joining us. See you soon. Hey, we're gonna be off on Friday, I believe, right, Jay? I'm gonna be
No,
driving.
I'm still doing it.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm gonna have a conversation with one of our customers who's an expert in gut health.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Well, if I can join in, maybe I will, or I'll chat in. I'll be on the other side, and I'm gonna chat comments to you and have you comment and stuff like
It's
that.
gonna be awful.
Hey, Jay. Right?
Wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Totally.
Peace, everybody.